Another great story on the front of the Oz tomorrow is prolonged COVID hit to supplies. COVID-19's goods shortages and production disruptions are likely to extend well into next year and beyond as new threats emerge to supply, leading to persistent inflation and slower growth in the global economy. In the US, Britain and New Zealand, the cost of living and producer prices are surging due to pandemic-related rises in wages, energy, shipping and materials and costs. This story is fascinating on the front of the Oz, Lease, and I just realised that when you read into it, some of the shortages that Australia will be expecting due to shipping disruptions, things like wetsuits and Japanese comics are the things that are topping the list of things that will probably bottom out by the time Christmas swings around. This is going to be a real issue come Christmas time and beyond.
Well, we were hearing the past few weeks people being urged to get in and do their Christmas shopping early because of these delays. And I find it really fascinating. If you ever get the chance, have a look at the tracker, which shows how many ships are actually on the oceans around the world.
Yes.
It's quite phenomenal.
Yeah.
But I know there have been enormous delays in getting materials or products shipped anywhere around the world, and that's starting to free up now. But we are certainly in for a very, a slow burn heading into Christmas and getting those goods here. But like I said, we talk about the shortage of tradies and the demand in the building industry. Well, we are now seeing builders. Because of the delay in getting material here, the cost of building a new home is blowing out. So what they've quoted, say, 5 or 6 months ago, the cost of that build now has risen because of the shortage of supplies. So it's being felt right across the economy.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's change tack now, and also on the front of the Australian, China's double fault on tennis ace. This story has been floating around for the past couple of days, but it's glad to see it getting prominence tomorrow. Fears about the fate of disappeared Chinese tennis star Peng Shuai have grown after the Chinese Communist Party delivered what appears to have been a blatant double false that was seen around the world. In what looked to be a ham-fisted play to assure the international community that the former Wimbledon doubles champion was safe, China's state-controlled media released a bizarre email purporting to be written by Peng. This is, I guess, this story when you hear today that Victoria will be allowed to have and Melbourne will be allowed to have the Australian Open at capacity crowds. It's, the summer of tennis is back. And then we have this story sort of bubbling away in the background. It just goes to show how terrifying some countries can really be when it comes to their messaging.
Yeah, exactly. Look, we've just seen the China documentary on Sky in the past 2 nights and exploring that relationship and how they're building up their military, etc. But with this one, there is real concern, or there appears to be real concern amongst the international tennis community as to what has exactly happened to her. You only need to read the message that was put out. That's not, well, it doesn't look like anything that you would write as a regular Joe when you're putting out some sort of tweet or some sort of message on social media or across email. It's just stunted. It doesn't seem like anything a real person would write. It seems like propaganda. So, look, I think there should be very long and loud calls to actually see and hear from her because, it's China and who knows what has happened. And the allegations that she made, were against someone very high up within the government. So they're very serious allegations, sexual allegations. They're not going to like that at all. And it seems that she's just disappeared.
It's really going to be really interesting to see who in the tennis community and fraternity do come out and speak out for her, because I guess it's such it's hard. You don't want to speak out of turn and then put her more in danger, but then also you want to look like you're taking a stand. So it's going to be a really interesting couple of days to see where this story goes. So well done to the Oz for putting that on the front tomorrow.